Now, the NFL Top 100 Players list came out, and surprisingly, Justin Fields was rated 86 over Trevor Lawrence. And of course, this sparked debate on social media. Who was the better quarterback? Trevor Lawrence coming in at 96, Justin Fields coming in at number 87 or 86. And you know, the NFL loves doing this. They love sparking up controversy around this time. And these players, you know, they play these games every single week, so you would trust their judgment. But some of these players, I think, have a lot of favoritism and a lot of bias, and they don't take these things seriously. Now, I love Justin Fields, but let's just be real. Justin Fields being ranked over Trevor Lawrence is a joke. It really is. Trevor Lawrence right now is pretty much in ascension mode. Not only has he proven to be the savior of the Jacksonville Jaguars, but he also has proven that he has the capability of being able to lead Jacksonville to the Super Bowl. Now, when we're looking at Justin Fields, man, this dude is playing for his career right now. His career. Now, for players, you got to understand something. A lot of these players get really fascinated by athleticism and flash. Just keeping in the buck. And I'm not trying to throw shade on Justin Fields, trying to indirectly call him a running back, because I'm not. But I'm just saying, he's a more flashier player than Trevor Lawrence. Justin Fields, he trends on Twitter every single week or on X. And he's normally going viral for having a crazy touchdown run. He's not really going often. Well, he's not really going viral often for his displays of passing. Trevor Lawrence, in the meanwhile, he's in the background, and this dude is carving it up in Duval. Not only is he a really great passer, but he is a really underrated runner. He's a really slim and really elusive runner when he decides to tuck and run. I think that Trevor Lawrence, without a doubt, if you were a general manager right now and you had to pick between these two quarterbacks who you wanted to lead your franchise for the next 10 years, you're taking Trevor Lawrence if you have common sense. Now, these players, they get fascinated by athleticism, and I don't know what logic goes through their heads when they have the opportunity to write down the players who they have on these lists. But I don't know what Justin Fields was doing to some of these players, but I'm guessing that maybe he had some players vote for him that were on the Detroit Lions and a couple of other squads when he was going crazy. I think Trevor Lawrence having such a slow start to last season, maybe the players kind of weren't all that impressed with him as much as they were with Justin Fields when he was going off. And these players, they're in the league, so maybe they know some things that we don't. Maybe they understand certain players' situations. But it's funny how people in the media and casual fans out there, they don't think that nuanced about these kind of things. You feel me? To the casual fan out there, you're going into this season, man, Justin Fields sucks. He's not a great quarterback. He's going to fail. But you're not taking into account that he had a terrible group of wide receivers last year and the worst offensive line in the NFL, and he was learning a new system. But you look at Trevor Lawrence, who had a better head coach and a better situation around him. But people don't like to make those kinds of arguments and make those kinds of, statements for guys like Justin Fields, because there's already a narrative about him. There was already a narrative about Justin Fields that coming out of Ohio State, he was going to be another mobile quarterback that was going to struggle as a passer, similar to Vince Young, but way more jacked up and athletic. Meanwhile, Trevor Lawrence, he was the poster child. He was the chosen one. He was the prophet. He was supposed to come in and dominate right away like Andrew Luck, but that was ruined. You want to know why? Because of Urban freaking Meyer. And we don't talk about that. We don't talk about how awful Trevor Lawrence was his rookie season because we give him the benefit of a doubt for his rookie season. But you see, at the same time, people don't really take these things into account when it comes to how they look at Justin Fields' situation. Trevor Lawrence was thrown in a bad situation, and we saw how he turned out. Not great. So it's just like a lot of people, when they have certain narratives about these quarterbacks, obviously we know that Trevor Lawrence is better than Justin Fields. But these players, though, they understand the more nuanced ways of how the NFL works. We saw what Trevor Lawrence looked like when he was thrown in the crappy situation with the whole Urban Meyer fiasco. He was not good. And you mean to tell me that Trevor Lawrence all of a sudden thrown into this situation with a Super Bowl winning head coach and gets a couple more weapons around him, he improves? That was all because of him? Or that also wasn't the fact that he had a better situation around him? You look at Justin Fields, he was drafted into dysfunction. He was drafted with a coach on the hot seat. And yet we don't really talk about that or seem to really care that Justin Fields didn't have any talent, because there's a untrue narrative out there that great quarterbacks are able to win with anything, and no, the hell they're not. All the good quarterbacks are on talented teams with good head coaches and good talent around them. Meanwhile, you're looking at Justin Fields, he's throwing to the worst receivers in the NFL with a garbage offensive line, and Trevor Lawrence had a way better offense last year. But remember Trevor Lawrence's rookie season, though. His rookie season, he wasn't great, and we seem to forget that. Maybe we need to start comparing quarterbacks when they're at their lows, when they're with awful supporting cast, and see how they do with less, comparing to how they do with one who has worse and one who has better when it comes to what they have around them.